The Detroit Pistons have finished their first 4 games of the NBA season. They are 0-4, and backup center Isaiah Stewart is averaging 3 points per game. So let's go through some clips in the Miami game, take a look at how Stu is being used and what he's doing on the court. So this is the end of the first quarter. We're going to get a screen from Fontecchio for Jaden Ivey. But the point here is to watch Stu, right? He's standing on the block. He's inside. He's not at the corner. He's not stretching the floor like the 38% three-point shooter that he is. Ivy uses the screen. Fontecchio pops. Stu goes from the block to inside the paint for some reason, maybe trying to allow some space for Ivy if he's going to cut this way. But Beasley, hands up in the corner. He's got Butler at the elbow. Holland trying to space out on the wing. Tecchio trying to space out up top. Ivy tries to get into the paint. Stu is just standing here. The spacing here is not great, right? If we were to cut a line directly down the middle, we have 4 people on the left side of the court. Why Isaiah Stewart can't stand in the corner here, make Thomas Bryant make a decision on whether or not he has to help here on an Ivy take, or guard Stewart in the corner. I would love to see Stewart be in the corner here because right now all he's doing is floating right underneath the rim, and I question what value he brings to the offense at this point. The Pistons scramble late, shot clock violation. Stu stood inside the paint or at the block the entire time. In this next possession, we've got Simone Fontecchio with the ball against Duncan Robinson, and Stu, instead of being underneath the rim, is at least spaced out a little bit more onto the elbow, but I'd like to see him at the wing here. If you're going to space the floor like this, why not take 2 steps back and get behind the three-point line? As Tech attacks, he gets stripped. Stu, kind of pushing against Bam. I don't know if he's trying to help set a screen if this ball makes it out to Holland. But I'm just not sure what value he's bringing here. But Fontecchio gets the ball stripped. Now, this is a questionable take by Ron Holland. If you got 3 people in the paint, including their defensive anchor at the rim, you probably should not go up with this, but he'll learn as he gets more NBA minutes. But again, this is what happens when Stu just resides by the paint. The center doesn't have to go very far, can stand at the rim and help protect on the help defense. This next clip, we're going to see Stu set a screen on Jimmy Butler to help Ivy. I'm not sure if this was a set to have 2 picks in a row, but Cade is going to set a screen as well. But we're going to focus on Stu. Watch him roll here, despite the wing being wide open where he could pop. He rolls right into Jaime Jaquez. Cade is going to end up popping at the top of the key. But look at all this space where Ivy is going to end up double teamed here. In this wing is just wide open where Stu could have popped and helped make himself available. Because as he rolls, his teammates are not looking for him on this. He's not making himself available in the paint. If you've got Cade at the top of the key, you got Fontecchio who was in the corner, but because there is space, he's trying to help make himself available. If Stu is not going to get the ball on the roll, he should just be here stretching the floor out, giving Ivy another option because he has to make this total skip pass to Fontecchio in the corner that gets picked off and taken the other way. This is going to be one of those times where Stu is hit on the roll. He very infrequently receives the ball on a roll, but he receives it here. A nice little DHO with Malik Beasley. Beasley sees this little pocket pass and hits him. And again, just like before, Jaime Jaquez was standing in the paint when he rolled on the previous clip. Stu, instead of going directly through Hame, just jumping through him, he's 250 pounds, 6'9" on the smaller defender. He does that weird little gather and travels. He's just not a comfortable player around the rim. There were a couple possessions where Stu was out on the three-point line, and I just think this needs to happen more consistently, especially by using Ron Holland as the screener instead. So Ron is going to set this screen, and he's going to roll through, get out of the way, and you're going to see Stu, because Ron was used as the screener, Stu decides that he needs to space the floor instead. Ron sets the screen and rolls through. Look at Stu out here at the three-point line. If he wanted to, why not shoot this shot? I mean, he's at the free throw line. You have the space here, but he's going to look for the DHO instead with Cade. Cade gets to his spot. But that's a good example of Stu spacing the floor out and playing to his strengths as we're using Ron as the roller instead. And just a few minutes later, we're going to see Ron post up Duncan Robinson, and let's watch Stu. He's creeping forward, right? Where are you going, Stu? What value are you bringing if you head into the rim to clog this up? Your man is already in help. Step back at the three-point line, space that floor out. And he does, right? So Ron hits this post hook on Duncan. Look at the spaced floor. If one person is inside the lane, Stu, bring yourself out there, make yourself available at the three-point line. What I would like to see out of Stu is hands up, ready to shoot. Look at Tech. He's got his hands out. Beasley, he's got his hands out. Be ready to shoot. Don't be hesitant if the ball comes your way at the three-point line. I think what's important is to show what a stretch five can do for the offense. So let's look at two clips from Miami's side looking at Thomas Bryant. So Thomas Bryant playing center for Miami right now. He's just standing in the corner. He's not a part of this play. He's just standing in the corner to stretch the floor. Jimmy Butler attacks, collapses the defense. We've got roughly 3 guys in the paint right now, and because Isaiah Stewart has to protect the rim as the center, Thomas Bryant is wide open. Look at the value that Thomas brings to this offense, and he didn't even touch the ball. This is what Stu needs to focus on. This is why it's so important, Stu's skill set as a stretch five, to utilize that, because it opens up the defense to get open threes. Last clip, again, looking at Miami and looking at Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant not involved in this play at all. He's just standing on the wing, spacing the floor. From the center position, just spacing the floor brings so much value to the offense. Miami clears out. Jimmy Butler sees that Thomas Bryant is on the wing, and Stu is down here on the block. Why we are guarding a stretch five down here from the block, I have no idea, but this is what centers do, right? They know they have to help protect the rim. So if you have to protect the rim and guard the guy at the three-point line, it's just very difficult to do both of those things. So Thomas Bryant on this possession does nothing but stand absolutely still and he gets a wide open three. That's what I would like to see Isaiah Stewart do moving forward.